You've probably seen the 2025 Mazda CX-70 on the road at some point and didn't even know it. It shares a lot of looks with the CX-90, its longer cousin in the lineup. However, the CX-70 is quickly making a name for itself in the segment. We drove the 2025 Mazda CX-70 Turbo S Premium Plus for a week, and like most of Mazda's lineup, I was pretty impressed. The interior is well done, there are thoughtful details throughout, and it has pretty good fuel economy. Our test vehicle had an MSRP of $55,950 with the upgraded melting copper metallic paint, $450. This brought up the total to $57,855. 2025 Mazda CX-70 Trim. First impressions. First off, our test vehicle had this really cool melting copper metallic color on the outside, which was paired with the tan Napa leather interior. I love Mazda's exterior paint options, and this one really stands out. Paired with some of the cool black emblems, the color choices worked really well on the CX-70. The grille, LED headlights, LED running lights, and LED taillights also look nice. It looks a lot like the 3-row CX-90 because it is a lot like the 3-row CX-90, but the CX-70 is a 2-row midsize SUV. This one simply has one less row and a huge cargo area. It's a refined and fairly luxurious SUV that would make a great daily driver. Driving impressions and performance. The 2025 CX-70 uses a turbocharged 3.3L inline-6 engine that gets 340 horsepower in the higher trims. The base model gets around 280 horsepower. It's also paired with a mild hybrid system, the 48-volt M-Hybrid Boost. There is also a plug-in hybrid model, but we didn't test that one. Overall, it was pretty peppy and smooth, especially in sport mode. The transmission was a little loud sometimes, but nothing too egregious. Pricing for the CX-70 ranges from $40,445 for the CX-70 3.3 Turbo Preferred up to $57,450 for the CX-70 PHEV Premium Plus. All models get the standard eye-active sense of safety systems, which includes smart brake support, blind spot monitoring, Mazda radar cruise control with stop-and-go driver attention alert, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, rear view monitor. I really enjoyed the help offered by the Mazda radar cruise control with stop-and-go and smart brake support. I took the CX-70 to Miami to test out the radar cruise control, and it was really awesome. I also thought the smart brake support was helpful. The lane keep assist was slightly overzealous and beeped a lot. I'm sure this can be turned down, but I left it at the normal settings to test it out. Braking and acceleration. The 2025 Mazda CX-70 has enough power for most situations. Mazda always recommends premium fuel for better performance, which I abide by. I spend most of my time driving in the city and sitting in traffic, but it had no issues getting up to speed on the highway. I could overtake cars as needed, and the handling was great. 340 horsepower is enough to move the CX-70 along nicely with no problems. This isn't really a performance vehicle, so the brakes are just standard brakes. They stopped quickly when a squirrel ran in front of my car, and I was confident in the braking power. The CX-70 isn't heavy by any means, so the brakes are solid enough to stop in an emergency situation. 2025 Mazda CX-70 Fuel Economy. This is where the mild hybrid system really shines. I saw the same 23/28 MPG as Mazda promised, even while sitting in traffic with the air conditioning blasting. Summers in Florida are hot and unforgiving, so the press cars don't always meet expectations. The CX-70 performed as promised, both in the city and highway portions of our week together. Interior design and comfort. I love the interior of modern Mazda cars. The Napa leather looks great, and the interior design isn't too screen-heavy. Mazda opts for high-quality materials throughout. The front seats are spacious, as are the seats in the second row. This is obviously because there is no third row, but adults would fit comfortably throughout the cabin. Technology and ease of use. Mazda opted not to use a touchscreen for the CX-70 and instead went with a control knob and some buttons. These control the center display, and honestly, I don't mind it. There are also real buttons for the climate control, which I prefer. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, but were sometimes a little clunky. It didn't like when my phone was plugged in, and I was trying to wirelessly connect. The phone would disconnect and reconnect every few seconds, and the volume would change drastically whether I was using the plug or wireless connectivity. I prefer to charge my phone via a cable as opposed to wirelessly, so this was slightly annoying. Eventually, I disconnected from the wireless and used the cable to listen to music. Cargo and storage space. The cargo area on the CX-70 is huge, mostly because there is no third row. As you can see in the photos, there is a ton of room back there. It works out to 39.6 cubic feet with the second row up and 75.3 cubic feet with the seats folded. You could sleep back here if you wanted. The CX-70 isn't a very tall SUV, so loading heavy items is fairly easy. The seats are power folding, which also makes life easier. There is plenty of versatile space.